December 1st, 1948. Adelaide, Australia. The sun is rising over Somerton Beach. As the first light hits the sand, a group of passers-by notices a man slumped against a seawall. He looks peaceful, like he's just napping after a long night. He's dressed in a sharp suit, polished shoes, and a tie. Perfectly groomed, but completely dead. No struggle, no blood. No ID. Every single label on his clothing has been meticulously cut away. Who was he? Why was he here? And why did he have a secret pocket sewn into his trousers, containing a tiny scrap of paper with 2 Persian words? Tamam Shud? Today, we go beyond the grave to uncover a mystery that has baffled the world's greatest code breakers for 70 years. This is the Echo case. When the police arrived, they expected a routine heart attack case. But the Somerton man was anything but routine. He was in peak physical condition. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, and calf muscles so developed they looked like those of a professional ballet dancer or a long-distance runner. His toes were strangely pointed, as if he spent his life in high-heeled or tight boots. But it was what was missing that troubled the detectives. No wallet, no name. Even the laundry marks on his singlet were gone. In 1948, clothes were precious, and removing every single tag was a deliberate, time-consuming task. Someone didn't just want him dead. They wanted him erased from history. The only thing in his pockets? A half-empty pack of cigarettes, a bus ticket, and a scrap of paper that would change everything. The medical examiner, Dr. Dwyer, found something terrifying. The man's spleen was 3 times its normal size. His stomach was filled with blood. The diagnosis? Poison. But here's the catch. The most advanced labs in the country couldn't find a single trace of any known toxin. It was the perfect murder. A poison that kills and then vanishes. To this day, experts suggest digitalis, or uwabine, substances used by secret agents to induce a heart attack that looks natural. Was this a hit? A professional execution on a public beach? 4 months after the body was found, a man came forward with a rare book, the rubaiyat of Omar. He claimed he found it in the back seat of his car, which had been parked near the beach on the night of the death. On the very last page, a tiny piece of paper had been torn out. It matched the Tamam Shud scrap found in the dead man's pocket perfectly. But the back of the book held something even more chilling. Faint pencil marks showed 5 lines of capital letters. A code, WRGOABABD, MLIABOI. To this day, the CIA, MI6, and the world's best cryptographers have failed to crack it. Was it a micro message for a submarine off the coast? Or the final rambling thoughts of a dying man? 1948 was the peak of the Cold War. Australia was a hotbed for Soviet and Allied intelligence. Investigators found a suitcase at the Adelaide railway station that belonged to the man. Inside, zinc-coated thread, a stenciling brush, and a table knife ground down into a weapon. These weren't the tools of a tourist. They were the tools of a stenciler, someone who marked secret drops for intelligence agencies. Was the Somerton man a Russian spy who knew too much? Or an Allied agent liquidated by his own people? The book led police to a woman named Jo Thompson, known as Justin, who lived just steps away from the beach. When shown a plaster cast of the dead man's face, she nearly fainted. She claimed she didn't know him, but her daughter later revealed that Jo spoke Russian and had a dark past. Even more shocking? Jo had a son with the same rare ear and tooth shape as the Somerton man, features that only 1% of the population shares. Was the Somerton man his father? Did he come to the beach not for a mission, but for a family he could never have? For decades, the case was a cold echo. But in 2022, Professor Abbott of Adelaide University used DNA from hairs caught in the man's death mask. The result shook the foundation of the mystery. The Somerton man finally had a name, Carl Charles Webb. He wasn't a Russian spy. He was an electrical engineer from Melbourne who had a troubled marriage and a passion for betting on horses. But did that solve it? No. It only made it more haunting. Why would an engineer from Melbourne erase his identity, travel hundreds of miles, and die of an undetectable poison on a beach with a secret code in his pocket? The DNA gives us a name, but it doesn't give us the why. Webb's disappearance was never reported by his family. His wife had moved away. Perhaps the Somerton man is a reminder that even in a world of technology, some secrets are taken to the grave. He died an unknown, but his echo has traveled through time to tell us one thing. Tamam Shud. It is ended. But for us, the mystery is just beginning. The Somerton man now lies in a grave that finally bears his name. But the code remains uncracked. What do you think? Was Carl Webb a bored engineer who went off the deep end? Or was Carl Webb just another cover for a man with a much darker purpose? Tell us your theories in the comments. If you love deep dive documentaries like this, hit the like button and subscribe to The Echo Case. We bring the shadows to light. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next investigation.